Test match cricket.
Hi BTN, my name's Ethan Lehmann, and you might already know my dad Darren Lehmann. He's the coach of the Australian cricket team, but right now he's over there behind me training the boys to hopefully bring home the Ashes. But what are they? Well, let me show you. Here's what Australia and England spend heaps of time fighting over. A tiny urn full of ashes. Weird, huh? It's kept in the Lord's Cricket Museum in London, and it all started as a joke 133 years ago. Australia beat England in England for the first time, so a journalist published a notice in the paper saying that English cricket was dead and should be cremated and the ashes sent to Australia. Later that year, England's captain said they would go to Australia, win and bring home those ashes. And while he was there, a lady from Melbourne gave him this ashes urn as a funny present. But it ended up becoming the famous symbol of the whole competition. You might have seen copies of it held up after a series win. The real urn is so old it stays at Lord's. Winners get to take home a crystal trophy instead. Now let me show you around the ground here. Lord's Cricket Ground is known as the home of cricket. And this spaceship-looking building is the media centre. This is where hundreds of journalists, camera operators, TV producers and presenters send their stories out all over the world. Now, did you know all the cricket rules we follow back home in Australia are made right here? It's in this very boardroom where some really important people meet up to decide what goes into this little book, The Laws of Cricket. Inside the change rooms, there are boards filled with the names of great Aussie cricketers who've played here. On game day, this room is filled with gear. So Dad, what do the players bring on game day?
Obviously we've got to bring their whites to play, their training gear for warm-up, etc. And then they bring all their gear, spikes, bats, gloves, pads, anything, helmets, you name it, protective equipment, and a whole heap of little things that they like to take with them.
So whose bag is this?
Well, this bag's our captain's, Michael Clarke. So he likes to pack a lot of things with him. He actually packs about 20 pairs of gloves. You can see his sweaters there, his shoes. He's the neatest guy we have on tour. He has his backpacks with his music, etc. in there. Has about probably 8 or 10 bats, as you see, set up. His whites, and then obviously his baggy green, which is, this one is probably 30 test matches old. He swapped it when he got the test match captaincy. He had his other one for 80 test matches and it was all frayed, a bit like Steve Waugh used to change his. But now you have to sign a stacked deck to actually get a new baggy green, so to say you've lost it or you need a new one.
Before Dad coached, he played for the Australian cricket team as well, and here he is after hitting the winning runs in the 1999 Cricket World Cup. I'm really proud of him. What has it been like to play and coach cricket your whole life?
It's been a lot of fun. It's a very enjoyable sport, as you know. The only thing I don't like is I get to miss you too much and all my other 3 kids. I'm always away from home, but to play, it's been a very enjoyable experience for me, and now, dare I say it, I love coaching more.
So what do you love the most about the Ashes series?
Good question. I would think it'd be the history and the tradition of the Ashes, whether you're in Australia or England, and obviously it's every 2 years and every 4 years abroad. For us, it's a big thing coming to Lord's. It's the home of cricket. We get the chance to meet normally the Queen. I think it's the Prince this time. But the Ashes itself, history is huge. It's the biggest test series you can play in as a player or be involved in as a coach.
The Ashes is made up of 5 games and each goes for about 5 days. So I don't get to see all of them. But since I was born, I've been lucky to travel the world watching Dad play and coach cricket. I hope you've enjoyed this Ashes report. Enjoy the rest of the series.